So let's go to the vestry's commitment, because that's why we're here. The vestry really took a big step forward. Some of you who know me know that I've been on the Committee of 9, and I've been on the Forward Movement Committee, and this committee and that committee, and Richard is absolutely right. The priorities always are the same, and the top one is always children, youth, and family. And yet, here we are again saying that's where we have to do what we have to do to better ourselves and to excel in love. So we've made commitments now that we are going to stick to that will make that happen. There are 3 major areas. One more. Oh, this is a build. Okay. We changed some slides a little bit. And the 3 commitments are children, youth, and family ministry, of course, member engagement and care of ourselves, and facilities management. We also have some other investments that we want to add to that, but those 3 are our priorities, and that's what we're going to work on. What did the vestry do? The vestry decided that it would invest in these 3 areas, and invest means in particular talent. In this case, we need help, and we need talent to help us. So for children, youth, and family ministry, we are going to hire, we're looking for an associate for Christian formation. Someone who will stay with us and not be here 6 months or a year later and then leave. We want someone that wants to be part of our family and is part of our family. We are going to have a church school coordinator. Right now we have Jessica, who has been so kind to take up this banner, and it is a full job, and we will be looking for someone. And thirdly, in this area, which is very exciting, and we've been doing some preliminary feelers around this, and it's all good, is Early Childhood Education Center. We have the facility. We have beautiful facilities. There is such a need in the community for early childhood care. A lot of the places that were open 2 years ago are closed now. So we want to look into opening up an early childhood center using our facility here at Christ Church. We also don't see it as just a Grosse Pointe issue. We've been talking about scholarships. How can we reach out to the Jefferson Chalmers area to be more inclusive? This is still a work in progress. This is talking and planning and researching right now, but it is in our mind. And it also could be, dare I say this, a profit center, a place to make a little money to help with the bottom line. But we are going to work on that. The next area is member engagement and care. I'm not looking at slides. I'm just going to do my thing, and if they're there, okay? We need support for member engagement. We need to make sure that we welcome all newcomers and then take them through our family to find out what's the best spot for them, what are they going to enjoy, how can we bring them in. So we're going to get someone, we want someone to be that person. Could be a parishioner, could not be a parishioner, we don't know yet, but we definitely need to be on top of this. We also are looking very carefully at and have formed a small task force on health and wellness ministry in the church. So we've got older people in our church. You will note in your program that the picture of me has me before my gray hair. Thank you very much, whoever picked that picture. That's a little old. But we do have an aging population. We also have COVID. We also have a number of other things, the blood drive. And we've been doing some really good work. So now how do we look at that and say, okay, how do we make that a ministry? And what are we going to do with that ministry? It's very exciting. And so we have a wonderful small task force that's experimenting or exploring that area. Third, facilities management. Need I say more? Slate roof. 80 million, what do you call them? Heat pumps. Heat pumps. Oh, if I hear one more time about another heat pump going down, I'm going to kill myself. We got a lot of heat pumps. We really need a manager to oversee this facility, which is fantastic, and to put in, for my GM UAW plant days, a planned maintenance program. So instead of being the little boy who puts his finger in the dike when the hole comes, we know that there's going to be a hole there in a year and we're going to fix it before it happens. So that's the third area that we are looking at. We also have some ancillary investments, AV support. We're now in a new world here. 2 years ago we didn't think about AV support. Now we broadcast every week. It's very exciting. The concept of a music scholar, we learned the value of trip so much to us. We want to look at that. So these are the things that we are looking at, and this is what the vestry has agreed to support. And it's a lot, but it's very cool, actually. I'm very excited. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this? Okay, so as part of that, we have decided that we need to put together a strategic plan, and it's not going to be a strategic plan like hire an outside company, they come in, they tell you what you already know, they tell you what you already should do. What was it that Tom Nielsen said? They borrow your watch and then they ask you to, they tell you what time it is and then they charge you. So we're not doing that, but we are going to start a strategic planning session. We are looking at it as about a 9-year program in 3-year increments so that we can really set some guidelines and some measurements as we go along the way, and then adjust as with what we learn, because nothing is ever the same, as we know from COVID. I mean, 3 years ago, who would have known what our last 3 years were like? So we have, this is the steering committee as it stands now. It's a great committee. It's going to help us get to our vision. Excuse me, I'm looking at my notes and I just want you all to see that my notes are a handwritten mess. So actually, if I put my glasses on, I'd probably have a better time doing that. So one of the major commitments by the vestry was a financial commitment, and Greg is going to talk about that later. But that supports the program commitments that we've made. Okay, is that it for me? Now, I think it's Greg's turn. Am I right? Oh no, sorry. I thought this was it. So this is part of the strategic plan. We have been talking about, and we will be having a centennial endowment campaign, like a capital campaign, but it'll be a centennial endowment campaign aimed to celebrate our centennial, aimed to raise money for our endowment, to help us support all these programs that that I've just outlined to you. So again, this is in the beginning stages. We've talked to 3 or 4 major fundraising companies that specialize in churches, and some of them, actually 2 of them specialize in Episcopal churches, you'd be surprised. And that's down the road with the steering committee. We'll be working on that, and you'll be hearing a lot about that later as we go along. And now it's Greg's turn.